Dear students, this is Vandana Pachori here, and in this video I'm going to give you a brief understanding of the storyline of The Tempest written by William Shakespeare. This is precisely for class 11th and 12th. In The Tempest, the play opens with a shipwreck when Alonso, King of Naples, he was returning after the wedding of his daughter to a prince abroad, and his ship was caught in a terrible storm. In his company, he had Duke Antonio of Milan and also his brother Sebastian, and there were some other gentlemen from the court and also Gonzalo. As the storm raged, and it was certain that the ship was going to split and sink, they were forced to abandon the ship and they jumped into the water. This tempest was basically raised by Prospero. He is a learned magician, and his ship sailed close. When the ship sailed close to this isolated and enchanted island, on which he and his young daughter Miranda, were the only human beings who were residing here, and theirs was a very, very sad story. Prospero, who was a Duke of Milan, he was completely devoted to his study of magic, and he had entrusted all the task of administration to his brother Antonio. Taking the advantage of the situation, he seized his dukedom and set Prospero and daughter adrift in a boat. Gonzalo, a noble of Naples, he took pity on them and stocked their boat with food and water and clothes and the other necessities, including the book of magic and philosophy from Prospero's library. When they drifted to this island and they took refuge, this island, which had been the refuge of Sycorax also, she was an evil sorceress, and she practiced witchcraft. There, he found this Caliban, who was son of Sycorax. He was a misshapen creature of animal intelligence. He was only able to split wood and draw water. He was obedient to Prospero's will, were many good spirits of air and water were also there, and whom he had freed. There was this Ariel. This was the lively spirit, and he really worked for Prospero. He was a chief of all the spirits. Ariel was the one who led all the other spirits. There was a number of spirits on this island. Prospero achieved some magical abilities, and he drew the ship bearing this Alonso and Antonio towards this island, and he ordered Ariel to bring this whole party, this group, safely to the shore of the island. Ferdinand, who was the king's son, he was moved by Ariel's singing to follow the spirit, to Prospero's cell. And Miranda, who remembered seeing no human being but only her father, she fell in love with him at the first sight. Prospero was pleased to see this young couple so attracted to each other, but he withheld his pleasure. He spoke harshly to them, and this was all to test honesty and commitment of Ferdinand. He ordered him to do some menial task. He ordered him to pile up the logs. Then this Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo, who were wandering somewhere else, they were segregated from Ferdinand on one side and Trinculo Stefano on the other side. Alonso was in complete despair because he started believing that he has lost his son. And Ariel was invisible in the air. He played his tabor. He had casted some magical spell and had put these people to sleep, except Sebastian and Antonio. Sebastian was the younger brother to the king, Alonso. Now, drawing apart, they planned to kill the king Alonso and his counselors and make Sebastian tyrant of Naples. In the nick of time, Ariel get awakened and the sleepers before the plotters could carry out their plan. He also wakes up the king, whom they had drawn. They were standing drawing their swords to stab and kill Gonzalo and Alonso. In the meantime, he wakes up everyone. Now there's another conspiracy which is also brewing in the mind of Caliban. He was carrying a load of wood while he finds that there is someone like he earlier thinks that he is a spirit, he's Trinculo, and he's nobody but the king's jester, and Stefano was a royal butler. Now they both were drunk. They offered even Caliban the drink which he starts feeling that's heavenly, and they had drunk monster and declared he would be their slave forever. Now, just as Sebastian and Antonio had plotted to murder Alonso, Caliban, Trincello, and Stefano, they schemed to kill Prospero and become the ruler of this island. Stefano will become the king of this island and marry Miranda according to Caliban, and Trincello and Caliban would be the viceroys. This unseen Ariel overhears everything, these evil designs, and reports this to Prospero. Meanwhile, Miranda had disobeyed her father by interrupting Ferdinand's task of rolling the logs, and the hidden magician's commands were forgotten. The two exchanged the love vows. Satisfied by the prince's declaration of devotion, Prospero believed Ferdinand to be the right person. Prospero went with Ariel to mock Alonso and his followers by showing them a banquet. He asked Ariel to show them a banquet, and later on it vanishes before these hungry and tired group of people. Now, Ariel, disguised as a harpy, reproached them for their conspiracy against Prospero. Alonso thought that Ferdinand has perished in the storm. Convinced that Ferdinand's death was a punishment for his own crime, he is reminded of his own sins and he is moved to repentance for his wicked deed. Prospero realizes that Ferdinand, after his hard toil, whilst he invites all the spirits, he declares the betrothal of the two, Ferdinand and Miranda, and he asks Ariel to invite Ceres, Iris, Juno, nymphs, and reapers to entertain the wedding of Miranda, the engagement ceremony of Miranda and the prince. Prospero suddenly remembers that the scheme which is brewing between Caliban and the two, Stefano and Trincello, told to punish the plotters. Ariel first tempted them with a display of kingly garments. Then, urging on his fellow spirits in the shapes of fierce hunting dogs, he drove them howling with pain through bogs and briars and patches. Prospero was convinced that the king of Naples and his own brother Antonio had repented the evil deed they had done to him some years ago. Prospero commanded Ariel to bring them to his cell. Ariel soon returned, bringing Alonso, Antonio, Sebastian, and Gonzalo there. At first, they were astonished to see Prospero in the dress of the wrong Duke of Milan. Prospero confirmed his identity, ordered Antonio to restore his dukedom, and warned Sebastian not to plot further against the king. There is this reconciliation and rejoicing. Finally, Prospero took the repented Alonso into the cave, where Ferdinand and Miranda were playing chess. There was a joyful reunion between father and the son at the unexpected meeting. During the scene of reconciliation and rejoicing, Ariel appeared with the master and boatswain of the wrecked ship. He said that the ship was safe and they could continue the voyage. Caliban was ordered to prepare food and set it before the guests. Prospero invited his brother and King Naples to spend the night in his cave. Before he left the island, Prospero freed Ariel from his service, leaving him to wander as he wished. Ariel promised calm seas and auspicious winds for the voyage back to Naples and Milan, where Prospero would journey to take possession of his lost dukedom and to witness the marriage of his daughter and Prince Ferdinand. This is the basic storyline. There is more to learn about William Shakespeare. Every act, every scene, every dialogue has so many things to teach us. I'm going to load many more videos, so please keep watching.